Okay, so for our next two equations, they are asking if the lines are parallel, perpendicular, or neither. Now imagine that I absolutely have no idea how to do this. Why don't you just graph both lines? And then you can see if they are parallel, perpendicular, or neither. My preferred method is y is equal to mx plus b. Remember, then I can graph real quick. So for the first equation, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to move this positive 8x to the other side. So I'm going to get negative 8x, and then the 20 is still on the right-hand side. Now I divide by negative 5. Negative 5 here, negative 5 in the first term, and negative 5 in the second term. So I get positive 8 over 5x minus 4. Okay, let's graph that already. So I'm starting at negative 4 on the y-axis. 1, 2, 3, 4. That is my first point, negative 4. And then I'm going to use the slope, 8 over 5. So that means 8 is the change of y, positive 8. There we go. So I'm now at 4. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is the change of y. There we go. That's my first line. All I need is draw that line like this. 8x minus 5y equals 20, or same line. This is the same, assuming I did not make any mistakes. This is the same line. Now, let's draw the second line. We've got this one, and again, I want y is equal to mx plus b, so I can easily graph. I have 5x plus 8y equals 8. I will move the 5x to the other side. So I'm getting negative 5x, and then plus 8 is still there. Now I divide by 8, divide by 8, divide by 8. So y is equal to negative 5 over 8x plus 1. So where do I start? I start with my y-intercept at plus 1. And now I follow the slope, negative 5 over 8. So from the y-intercept, wait, I'll stay green. From the y-intercept, go down 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then 8 to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That is your second point. Now, when you draw this real nice, oops, my screen just switched. Let me zoom in a little bit more. There we go. What do you now notice? These lines are indeed perpendicular. Now, how do I see that? How do I see that? Let me copy down the name of this graph, 5x plus 8y equals 8. I don't see it when it's in the standard form of a line, yeah? So when your equation is in the slope-intercept form of a line, then you see it. Look at this, negative 5 over 8. That is the slope. And then positive 8 over 5. They are opposite reciprocals. Remember, opposite reciprocals, 8 over 5, that's positive 8 over 5. The opposite would be negative, and the reciprocal would be 5 over 8. And when you multiply those slopes together, 8 over 5, when you multiply this with negative 5 over 8, look what the product gives you. The product gives you negative 1. So when the product of the slopes is negative 1, then these lines are perpendicular lines. And in other words, when the slopes are opposite reciprocals of each other, they are perpendicular lines. And what always helps? It always helps to graph it out so you can see with your own eyes, yes, these lines are indeed perpendicular. Okay, now I'm giving you a third equation right here. And again, the question is, are they parallel, perpendicular, and to which one, the blue one or the green one? So again, my preferred method would be to solve for y. So I've got 16y equals negative 10x minus 32. I divide by 16, this divided by 16, and this divided by 16. Simplify, divide by 2 here, you get 5. Divide by 2 here, you get 8. So negative 5 over 8x, and then minus 2. So let's go ahead and graph that one. We start at negative 2 on the y-axis, and then we follow the slope. Go down 5 over 8. So go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right there. Again, we can go up the other way and run the other way as well. When you go through these points, there we go. You should notice something. Again, I could write this equation in the standard form, but that's not really helping me much. When I write it in my slope-intercept form, minus 2, the slope-intercept form gives it away. Look at the slope here, and look at the slope here. And look at those lines. What do you notice? You should notice that those lines are parallel lines because the rise over run is the same, -5/8 and -5/8. When the slopes are the same, then we have parallel lines. And this is really all you need to know about parallel lines or perpendicular lines. So again, parallel lines have the same slope, and then perpendicular lines have opposite reciprocal slopes. Or if you multiply the slopes together, then the product of the slope is -1.